Hi guys, so today I have a pretty different video for you guys. Yeah, it's been a while, and so recently I've been enjoying another card game called WS, which is called Weiss. It's not as, I would say it's not as popular as Vanguard, even though it's been around like slightly longer than Vanguard. But I would say it's pretty underrated as a card game, so I would highly recommend people to try it. Yeah, but today I'll just be going through one deck that I really enjoy playing recently. So yeah, it's a Shoko deck, and from the Barnacle Senpai anime. Yeah, so this deck consists of basically cards from two sets. The first set is basically from the anime itself, and the second set is the movie. So pretty much two sets in one deck. Yeah, but this deck will just be focused around her and pretty much no one else. Yeah, basically my main goal is to throw in as many cards that features her. Whether it's strong or not, to me doesn't really matter because this is like my quote unquote side game. So in a way I don't really care about meta and all that shit. So yeah, and this deck mostly will be a full blue deck, except for like 2 level 0s. But they're also Shoko, so yeah. So starting off with the level 3s. Oh yeah, before I start the review, right? Do not like copy like this deck because I don't think it's worth your time, especially if you wanna play competitively or yeah. This deck is good, but it's just comparing it to like what's out there and the meta and all that, it's not as good. So yeah, I'm just doing this for fun because yeah, I quite like Shoko. So yeah, so starting off with the level 3s. Honestly, this entire deck is just a meme, to be honest, but I don't really care. Yeah, starting off with the level 3s, we have the main boss unit, which is basically her. And basically what her skill does is, as you can see over here, it says Climax Combo. So basically, in order to play her, you have to pay 2 costs, and you have to be level 3. And then on place, on the field, if you have, basically you heal 1 damage. Yeah, so once you heal 1 damage, and then Climax Combo, when you attack, you pay 2 cost, and then basically you look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck, and then basically you filter out their climaxes, and then so that you know they don't cancel as much. And then this unit gets 2.5k power. Yeah, so did I miss anything out? No. Oh, one more thing is, after you look at the top 3, take out the climaxes, you put the remaining cards back, or if all 3 are climaxes, then you mute everything. But after that, you look at your own library, the top card of your own library, just to see whether you want to deal more damage. But that's about it. It's pretty good finisher because you know you mills your opponent's climaxes so they don't cancel damage and take more damage. So let's say if you manage to have 3 of it on the field, and then, which is pretty rare to be honest, unless you have a lot of stock, or like I don't know, like your opponent just doesn't really kill it, but that's very rare, especially when you play against meta decks. But yeah, basically if you swing, pay 2, and then look at top 3, swing the top 3, swing the top 3. So yeah, it's pretty good, but there are definitely better cards out there from other sets. But yeah, this is basically a finisher. Next is this Shoko. So before that, I should show the climaxes for this. So in order to trigger the Climax Combo skill, you need this this Climax. Yeah, so it's a arc deck, or no, it's an arc Climax, or a Pens Climax, whatever you want to call it. So basically, when you play this, all your units, attacking units, gets 1k and 1 soul. And then when you trigger it, basically you get to fetch 1 Climax from your drop, or your waiting room. Yeah, so basically that's about it. So this is the Climax for it. Yeah, I'll just put this aside first, then I'll show you the level 3, which is over here. So this is another level 3 that I have, that I also play. I only play 3 because I would say you rarely go into it, because most of the time you want to be finishing off your opponents with this. So yeah, but basically the skill is when you place it, check top 3 and then add 1 character to your hand, the rest goes to waiting room, which is a drop. And then Climax Combo is basically, I would say this is a very defensive Climax Combo, because so this is the Climax for it. It's the same symbol, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so the Climax Combo is whenever you attack, you drop 1 card, and then until the end of your opponent's turn, basically once you end your turn and your opponent starts their turn, until the end of that turn, this unit gets 2.5k power. So basically she will be 12k until your opponent finishes their turn. And then on top of that, whenever your opponent front attack you, you flip the top card of your deck or your library, and then you minus their soul. Basically you minus the amount of damage they are able to deal to you for the flipped cards level, which is pretty good. But this is more of a defensive if you don't want to die, but I would say you don't really go into this. It's just like a backup level 3, so yeah. So next is an event. So this event basically helps you call out this from your level zone. So basically, yeah, so you cause this from the level zone, but this event requires the level 1 event, which I'll show later. So basically when you play it, you pay 1 for the cost, and then you basically summon this from the level zone, you put this in your level, and then she gets 6k. So pretty good, but I only play 1 because you know, if you see this early, it's pretty much a dead card, and you can't play until level 3, so yeah. Okay, so moving on, next will be the level 2s. So the level 2s, I only play 4 because you want to be saving up your stock for your level 3s. Yeah, then basically this is a pretty good card, especially when you have tanky units in your opponent's front row. Basically what she does is, let's say you have 4, basically you almost have a full field of 4 units. You call this down as a 5th unit, she gets 5k. So she's a 12k attacker, which is pretty good. Gets through most level 3s. Yeah. And then the second skill is whenever you reverse an opponent, you pay 1, and then I think you get to search a deck for 1 character. So and you add to your hand. So that's about it. So this is a level supporter. Basically once you play her, usually you put this in the back row so so that it doesn't get killed. Basically, yeah, she's a support unit. And then the first skill is basically your units gets 500 for each level. So if you're level 2, the unit gets 1k. Then the second skill is whenever it triggers pens, basically the Climax over here, then you get to draw 1 and you drop 1. And then the other one is you get to rest, I think it's herself. Yeah, you rest herself, and then you choose 1 unit, gets 1k. So pretty good, you know, gets over things. And I mean, she's a support, so that's why her power is pretty low. Yeah. So that's it for the level 3s and 2s. So moving on to the next Climax Combo. This card is like a must play because basically she fetches you units from your waiting room. And the Climax Combo for this is this. yeah, so I play four of it, because you know, in the early game you want to be fetching out all your late game units. So the Climax Combo is basically when you attacks, or before the Climax Combo, the first skill is when you attacks, if you have another character on your board, I think, and then this unit gets plus 1.5. So pretty good, 6k just like that. And then Climax Combo, if you reverse your opponent, you get to salvage one card from your waiting room to your hand. So basically it's just fetching for free. Then you choose one of your characters plus 2k. So it's pretty good. You get to stack power on like your other attacking units. And yeah, so that's about it. So these are kind of like a must play. So next, level 1, I think I played 2 more level 1s. Yeah, so next one is this. So experience 2 or more. Basically what experience is in your level zone, your level must be a certain level. Okay, that makes no sense. Okay, but anyway, basically, let's say this is your level zone. I'll just do like a sample test run later, but anyway, your experience must be 2, and then this character gets 2k. So I play 4 of it because you know, it's just a 6k 5-bit stick, which is pretty good. You want to be running level 1s which have high power because you're cutting down on your level 2s. Yeah. So next is the next level 1 which I play. Basically what she does is, let's say you do not have enough experience, you can rest this, no, not rest this, rest another unit, and then swap whatever you have in your level zone with the, hold on, let me see. I think it's, you swap this card, I think so. But basically you get to swap one card from your waiting room to your level zone, which is pretty good. Yeah, I'll have to try that again, but that's pretty much the gist of this card. And then you have another character, this gets plus 3k. So 7k basic, pretty good. Yeah, I only run 3 because she's like a 4k power, so yeah, and then your opponent will be able to get over things like that. So, and then lastly for level 1, I will play one event. So this event is it's like a combo with another card. So basically this level 3, right, you would want to place as soon as you reach level 1, because what she does is you pay the cost, put it in your memory, which is like a bind zone in Vanguard, but anyway, you put it in your memory, then choose 1 units plus 2k, and then after that you swap this Choco from your waiting room to the level zone. So after that, once you reach level 3, if you see this event, play it, summon the Choco from the level zone to your board and get 6k. So that means it's pretty good. Oh, and another skill is whenever you level up, check the top card. If it's a character, you add to hand. If not, you put it in your waiting room. So it's a free +2 for the cost of 1. But that's if you manage to summon this. But otherwise, I'll only play 1 because it's like a dead card. Because you only need 1, to be honest. So next is your Brainstormer. So I played only 2 Brainstormers because you know, after all, you only have 8 Climaxes in your deck. You can't possibly brainstorm that much, to be honest. So basically a Brainstormer is you pay 1 cost, you rest it, look at flip the top 4 cards of your deck, and then you search your deck for each Climaxes that you that are of the top 4. So yeah, so that's what the Brainstormers. So next is a runner. So basically what a runner does is, let's say your opponent, let's say your opponent decides to enter into like battle phase. So if you have a runner and then 2 empty slots at the side, basically you can run to wherever slots before your opponent attacks. So let's say, basically you will want to run to a place where like your opponent has lower power so that it doesn't get over, and then they will have to swing side, or like if they swing front they will die. Yeah, but basically it's like a defensive mechanic. I only play 2. Actually all the zeros, all the level zeros I only play 2 because there's a lot of useful tech and a lot of useful level zeros, so yeah, that's 2. Next is, this is like a level 0 supporter because all your front row units get 500 other front row units. Yeah, then the next skill is basically when he attacks, if you check pants, you draw and drop 1. So it's a good filter as well, so I'll play 2. Next is, yeah, basically what this card does is, if you have drawn like way too many climaxes, or like if you're somehow that unlucky, then basically she fetches you cards from your waiting room in exchange for a climax. So basically you drop a climax and you search your waiting room for 1 character. Okay, so next is, yeah, basically what this card does is, I know it looks funny because, you know, she only has 500 power, which is pretty weird for level 0 and like pretty small power, but I would say the skill is pretty good because let's say you have an opponent with only 1k level 0, if you mill the top 2 and it hits a climax, you can retire that unit and basically you get to swing for more damage. So yeah, then the second skill is, if your level 0 opponent reverses this, you get to bottom deck the unit. So it's pretty good. Yeah, but I only play 2 as usual. So next is, honestly some of it I can play like more, but you know, I like variety in my deck, so yeah. Yeah, next is basically she lets you check the top card of your deck, and then you choose whether to leave it on top or the bottom. So I think she works in many scenarios, to be honest. You would want to play this deck to really find out, and like basically the more you practice and the more you play with it, you will get to understand what I mean. But I can't go through everything in this video. It will take like freaking 1 hour. But anyway, yeah, basically she lets you check the top card. So there's many things you can do with that, because actually come to think of it, yeah, because you can check your top card and then I don't know, maybe decide whether you want to brainstorm or not. But another thing is, because most of the cards that I've shown, they require a lot, sometimes milling in order to trigger an effect. So yeah, basically which I'll get to next. So the second skill is basically one of your units get plus 1.5k, so pretty alright. So this is a very good card. So basically it gets to fill out your board for essentially free, but the condition is you must have 1 or less other units. So basically when you play it, you basically check the top 2 cards of your deck, and then yeah, and then basically you check for level 0, because she can only summon a level 0. So if there's like a level 0 that you need from the top 2 cards, you put it on top of your deck, and then when she attacks, you mill that card and then you call it to your back row. Pretty good. It's like a free +1. So yeah, honestly, you would want to cut this. Okay, no, never mind. I think it's good to have variety. But anyway, there's a lot of things you can do. Like no one's gonna stop you from doing what you want. So this one, okay, basically the last 4 cards are your searchers, or I would say, but they work differently. So the first one is you pay 1 and then you basically eat 1 damage, or rather you take 1 damage, and then you search your deck for a cost of level 0 or lower and you call it to your board. So this card is pretty strong because even at level 0 you can call out level 1s and prepare for your next turn, which is pretty good, you know. Yeah, but the thing is you must have to eat 1 damage, so that's pretty risky as well. Sometimes you don't really want to do that, so that's where this card comes in. You pay 1 and you drop 1 from your hand, and then you search your deck for 1 and you add to your hand. So yeah, I mean, it's good to have variety. Different things work in different scenarios. And the second skill is you mill to it. If there's a climax, you give one of your characters plus 1.5k. So essentially that's about it for the deck. I've been talking for way too long, about 20 minutes plus already. So I will just summarize the entire gist of this deck and why I kind of like playing it, even though I keep losing, but that's not the point. Yeah, honestly this deck doesn't really stand a chance in the meta today. There's a lot of things that counters it, and even if it doesn't counter it, it's not as aggressive as what other decks can do. So that's what I mean. So yeah, I'll just show you one play that you can do with this event. So basically, yeah, let's say you have basically your level zone, right? It's like you put it on your left side of your board. Let's say for some reason you have 3 cards in your level zone of the same card. I don't know. That's not really possible, but I mean it's possible, but you don't really want to do that. But yeah, but let's say you have like 3 cards here, so you're at level 3, right? So let's say you already have this what's the event? So you already have this event in your memory. So let's say you draw into this level 3 event, you play it, you remove the level 1 event and send it to your waiting room. You call this to your board and then you exchange. Yeah, so that's pretty much the gist of it. And this gets plus 6k power, and then basically it should be 16k, and then when attacks plus 2.5, 18.5, and then the climax power 19.5. So that's pretty insane. It's like a, yeah, that's pretty insane. Like 19k5 can basically hit through everything. And yeah, so but I only play 1 because, like, honestly, you don't really go into it, I would say, and if you draw it early, it doesn't really help you too much. So yeah, I think that's about it for this deck. Feel free to have fun with this deck list, even though I think it's pretty shit. But yeah, I think I'll end the video here. It's already like 24 minutes. I would definitely recommend playing this game, especially for those who are willing to explore a lot more in terms of other card games. But yeah, other than that, I think I will end the video here. Thanks.